Hello, boys. Now, this is our grammar lesson for this week, which is all about adverbs. Now, an adverb is a word that modifies a verb. Modifies means describes, so modifies or describes a verb, mainly, an adjective, or another adverb. I will explain this by giving some examples. Let's study these sentences. Number one, I drive very slowly. Now, the word slowly is the adverb. Why? Because it's describing how I drive. So, how do I drive? Slowly. Slowly talks about how the verb is done. Two, they will visit us soon. Soon is an adverb talking about time. It is describing when the action will be done. When will they visit us? They will visit us soon. And number three, the weather is fine and I will play outside. Now, outside is an adverb because it's talking about place. Where will I play? Outside. Number four, I visit my grandma very often. Often is an adverb because it's talking about how frequent you do something. We are going to talk about two more kinds of adverbs, which are the conjunctive adverb, when you say therefore, however, thus, moreover. Okay, you can say, I know it's raining cats and dogs outside. However, I will go and play with my friends in the garden. This is one example of a conjunctive adverb. And here we have a relative adverb like when, where, why. An example is Mecca, the holy city of Mecca, is where I feel very happy and relaxed. Or when you use the adverb why, when you say, for example, this is the reason why I feel a little bit upset. We are going to read the directions of the exercise and we'll do the sentences. Read each sentence, underline each adverb, circle any conjunctive or relative adverbs that you find. Number one, I sat patiently on the park bench. Fine. Now, how did I sit patiently? So, this is the adverb. I'm going to underline it. So, how did I sit? I sat patiently. Number two, I hungrily ate my sandwich. How did I eat my sandwich? Of course, hungrily. Adverb. I carelessly dropped crumbs on the ground. How did I drop those crumbs? Carelessly, and this is the adverb. Tiny sparrows darted around frantically at my feet. How did they dart around? They darted around frantically, which is the same as nervously. And five, they chirped, which means they sang excitedly when I scattered more crumbs. How did they chirp? They chirped excitedly. So this is the adverb. Do you find this easy? I hope so. We continue now. 6 to 10. I tossed them where the birds could easily get them. Okay? Now, how will the birds, or how could the birds see them? Easily. So this is the adverb. Fine. And we have here a relative adverb that begins a sentence, a clause. So I will highlight it with red. I tossed them where the birds could easily get them. It's the same as the sentence that I told you about. The holy city of Mecca is where I feel happy and relaxed. Number 7. Soon they had eaten up all of the crumbs. Soon they had eaten up all of the crumbs. Now the adverb is soon, and it's talking about the time that the verb will be done. And number 8, they quickly flew off but watched patiently from a nearby tree. Now, how did they fly off? Quickly. They flew off quickly but watched patiently. How did they watch? Patiently. Fine. And number 9, I visit the park frequently, but this had never happened before. Now the adverb is frequently because it tells us how frequent the verb is done. And 10, I had finished my lunch, therefore I promptly returned to work. Now therefore is a conjunctive adverb, and the adverb is promptly. Now this is the next page, which is very important. Now look at the introduction. It says an adverb can describe an adjective or another adverb. Fine. So in addition to the verb, an adverb can modify an adjective or another adverb. Fine. Let's read the directions. Read each sentence, underline each adverb. On the line or lines provided, write whether each adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. This is a very fun exercise. Let's read number 1. The skier looked anxiously down the mountain. Now, how did he look down the mountain? Anxiously. So this is the adverb. And it's modifying what? Now it's modifying the verb looked. And here we write verb. 2. Incredibly strong winds blew from the north. Now, how strong the winds were, or the winds blew. Now the adverb will answer. Now the wind blew, or the winds blew incredibly strong, not a little bit strong. No, incredibly strong. So this is the adverb, and it is modifying an adjective. Adjective. Okay. The snow was accumulating quite quickly. Now the adverb is quickly. How quickly? The snow was accumulating quite quickly, which means very quickly. Okay, guys? Okay. Fine. So we have the adverb quite modifying the adverb quickly. And number 4, she could hardly see the bottom of the slope. Okay. Now, could see the bottom of the slope easily? No, she could hardly, which means, she didn't see it very clearly. So the adverb is hardly. Fine, the adverb, and it's modifying the verb see. So here we write a verb, and here we write adverb. Okay. And 5, her coach had a very nervous expression on his face. The adverb is very, so we underline it, and it's modifying the adjective nervous. How nervous? A little bit nervous? Very nervous? It's very nervous. So very is an adverb, nervous is an adjective. adjective. And now we move to sentences 6 to 10. 6, I'm absolutely positive, which means I'm absolutely sure or certain they'll cancel the race, he said. Now, how positive I am? Slightly positive? A little bit positive? No, it's absolutely. So what gives us this meaning is the adverb absolutely, and it is modifying the adjective positive. ADJ, adjective. Meanwhile, the snow continued to fall from the sky. Now, meanwhile is an adverb expressing time. It means in that time. Fine? Meanwhile. So, it's modifying the verb continued. And it's modifying a verb. And 8. A red light began flashing urgently near the start gate. How did it begin to flash? Urgently. So urgently is the adverb, and it's modifying the verb. Sorry, I should have underlined this. Okay. It began to flash urgently, and it's modifying the verb began. The skier felt relieved. To what extent relieved? To what degree? Somewhat relieved. So this is the adverb, and it is modifying the adjective. Okay, relieved, adjective. They will come back tomorrow and hope for much better conditions. When will they get back? Come back tomorrow, which is an adverb modifying time, talking about time, and it's modifying the verb come back. So here it's modifying the verb. Now we get to the last page, and let's read the directions. Read each sentence, underline each adverb. On the line or lines provided, write whether each adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. I will do 1 to 3 and leave 4, 5, and 6 for you as a homework assignment. A teeny tiny assignment. Okay, boys? My mother sat quietly at the piano. How did my mother sit? Of course, quietly. So, quietly is the adverb, and it's modifying the verb sat. And here I write verb. 2. Suddenly, the orchestra began to play. How did the orchestra begin to play? Of course, or when, for example, suddenly. So suddenly is the adverb modifying the verb began, and I write verb. 3. They performed an incredibly joyful symphony. Okay? To what degree was the symphony joyful? A little bit joyful? Incredibly joyful. So this is the adverb modifying the adjective. Joyful. And I write adjective. And okay, 4, 5, and 6 are a small assignment for homework assignment for you to do. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you understood adverbs and how they are used. Thank you for your time. I will see you in another video soon.